Hi, welcome back to this session of Paint This with Jerry Arnell right here at the Arnell School of Fine Art. And this is going to be our final session on this beautiful, beautiful painting that we're doing way up in the high country of this just tremendous wolf standing on top of this cliff, kind of reaching out through, looking for his dinner. And it's just an amazing painting. I know you've been enjoying it. I promise you would. And remember, a few weeks ago when we started this, I was just kind of making fun of the whole process of, well, how ugly things look in the first thing, and then, but I made you a promise that we'd get out of it, and slowly but surely we've done that. And we have a little more to do to get there. Let's go ahead and talk about the original now. Once again, this is a much larger version. This is one of more of my, I call it more of a professional piece that I use for my museum things or my collectors. But I'm going to start using some more of those, you guys, on some of the programming to help, because a lot of you have been watching for so long, you want new and different, more advanced things. So that's kind of for my attempt to do that. So we're taking this one that's 24 by 36. We're going to shrink it down to a 18 by 24, and using the same techniques, just a little less controlled, keeping it a little simpler. It makes it a little easier for me to teach it at a level, and I hope you can understand it. And maybe this is helping some of you get some more information. So what we're going to do now is we've got the wolf. Now the wolf, again, has to be right against the dark background of these trees. So the first thing we're going to do is block him in, and you can see I've got a rough sketch of him there. Just take your soft vine charcoal or your white Conte pencil and block that in. Then you can take one of your little chisel edge brushes. I think, you know, the number 4 or the number 2, either one of those would be fine. And then you just take your take a gray, a dark gray, in this case a charcoal gray, burnt umber, blue and white. But since I already had some gray down here, I'm just going to work out of that, play with it until I get it. And just take a little bit of that gray, and let's test it up here. Yeah, that's pretty good. See that? I don't know if you can see it too good, but that's kind of a gray. And you just take your brush now, and you always, whenever you do wildlife, you always pull inward. And you try to use a chisel brush as much as you can. And the reason we pull inward is because that keeps the edge soft or irregular, so you don't get that real hard line. Now there are a couple things going on here. Now it's going to take a little bit. This wolf's kind of small in reality, and so it makes it a little hard to show it on TV. So just bear with us, folks. I'll explain it as best I can. So the first step is to gray him in, the main body parts with gray. Once you get your sketch, and make sure it's fairly opaque. Well, make sure it's very opaque. So the main part is this charcoal gray. Now, underneath his belly, on his back leg, and between his legs, and certain areas like on the right side of his body, it'll be darker. So what you want to do is take your little bit of blue, a little bit of burnt umber, go over here and really darken that. And we want to find the real dark areas. Now, I do have a photograph there, but that's even small, so it's too hard to work with. So I'm just going to go ahead and know the process that everything is going to be darker where body parts overlap each other. So I'm going to explain this as I go. Now, this takes me back. You guys remember, I began my career as a wildlife artist, and you know, so that's kind of what we're doing here is I'm showing you some techniques that I learned many years ago when I did a lot of the stuff with the ducks and the geese and you know, went to all the wildlife shows and spent some time working with the Ducks Unlimited organization and things like that. Had a lot of fun.